The Basque Country national football team represents the Basque Country in football. It selects players from the Basque Country Autonomous Community, Navarre and the French Basque Country and is organized by the Basque Football Federation. It is not affiliated with FIFA or UEFA and therefore only allowed to play friendly matches against FIFA-affiliated teams. The team has been referred to by various names including Euskadiko selekzioa, Euskal Herriko football selekzioa, selekzioa de Euskadi, Vasconia, Equipo Vasco, Euskadi 11 and Basque 11. Most of their home matches have been played in the San Mamés Stadium which was replaced in 2013 by the new San Mamés. The Basque Country has had a football team of its own since 1915. During the Second Spanish Republic, he played firstly under the name of Basconia selekzioa and then from 1936 as a Euskadiko selekzioa. During Franco's 36-year dictatorship it only played 2 games. Then, after Franco's death in 1975, the team was reformed using the name Euskadiko selekzioa and began playing regular friendly matches, usually during La Liga's Christmas break. Up to the present moment they have played 56 matches against a wide range of nations such as Russia, Uruguay, Nigeria and Denmark. In 2007, the team's name was controversially changed to Euskal Herriko football selekzioa. In 2008, a compromise was reached and it was changed again to Euskal selekzioa. In the lower grades, the team is either called Euskadiko selekzioa, or Selección del País Vasco, and exclusively represents the Basque Country Autonomous Community. History, beginnings. On September 29, 1913 the Royal Spanish Football Federation was formally created and along with it 4 regional federations. Each regional federation organized its own league, and also selected a team to play against other regions. The Basque Country was grouped with Cantabria in Norte. As all the biggest teams in the Norte Federation were Basque, such as Athletic Bilbao, Real Sociedad, Real Unión, and Arenas Club de Getxo, so the team fielded by the federation was usually entirely composed of Basque players, and was called Vasconia, El Equipo Vasco, the Basque team, or sometimes just Norte. On January 3, 1915 they played their first match which was against Catalonia in Bilbao and won 6-1, and then on February 7 they played them again but in Barcelona, this time drawing 2-2. On May 13, 1915 they won the inaugural Copa del Prao and Cipe de Asturias tournament in Madrid by beating Catalonia 1-0. In the same competition they drew 1-1 with Centro. In May 1916, Norte faced Catalonia twice in Barcelona, winning by 1-3 on the 21st, and drawing 0-0 on the 22nd. On June 4 of the same year they beat Catalonia 5-0 in Bilbao. On November 22, 1916 the Cantabrian teams left the Northern Federation, joining the newly formed Cantabrian Federation, which encompassed Asturian and Cantabrian clubs. In 1918 Guipúzcoa formed its own federation leaving Biscay on their own in Federation Norte. Guipúzcoa and Biscay organized their own separate teams. In 1919 the Asturians decided to form their own federation so the Cantabrian teams rejoined Norte, but now it only had teams from Cantabria and Biscay. This complicated situation of federations splitting off continued for a few more years. In 1922 separate teams were created for Biscay and Cantabria because the former decided to form their own federation. In the summer of 1922 a team calling itself the Basque team was sent to South America. Although the trip was organized by the Guipúzcoan Federation, 4 of the 19 players in the squad were from the Biscayan Federation. He played once against the Argentine national side, losing 4-0, then drew 1-1 against Porto ±0, and finally winning 0-4 against a team selected from Argentina's Interior League. The team also played the Uruguayan national side twice, losing both games, before visiting Brazil where they played in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. After the team had arrived back in Spain on October 5, 1922, the players resumed playing for either Biscay or Guipúzcoa. On 12 November 1922 Asturias played Biscay and Jija cubed end drawing 1-1 and the following day Asturias beat Biscay 4-3. On November 18, 1923, Biscay faced Asturias in Bilbao and won 4-2. It wasn't until 1930 that the Biscayan and Guipuzcoan federations finally came together to create a permanent team with the name Vasconia to represent the Basque Country. Their first game was against Catalonia on June 8, 1930, which they won by 0-1 in Montjuïc, and they played Catalonia again on January 1, 1931 in Bilbao, winning that match 3-2. The team during the Civil War. During the first year of the Spanish Civil War the Basque team changed its name to Euskadiko selekzioa. Their first match with that name was against Cantabria on November 29, 1936 in Santander, when the Cantabrians won 3-2. In 1937 the first president of the Basque Autonomous Region José copyright Antonio Aguirre, who in his youth had been a player for Athletic Bilbao, decided to send a Basque football team abroad with the dual aim of raising money to fund the cost of the Civil War, and also as a form of propaganda letting the world know about the conflict in Spain. At the same time a choir called Iriswanka was formed to tour Europe for the same purpose. Money raised was reportedly used to fund a hospital in La Roserie, France, used by Spanish refugees, and also to help support the thousands of Basque children who had been sent abroad for safety. The team consisted of the following players: goalkeepers Gregorio Blasco and Rafael Agusqueza. Defenders, Sarafa Enaido, Pedro Arrezo and Pablito Barcos. Midfield, Leonardo Soleran, Jose Muctza, Pedro Regueiro, Roberto Atboria Arati, Angel Zubitar, Sabino Aguirre and Enrique Larinaga. Forwards, Jose Araragori, Emelina Alonso, Isidro Langra, Luis Regueiro, Ignacio Aguirre-Zabala, Jose copyright Manuel Urquiola, Guillermo Gorostiza. As coach, Pedro Villana, also attached to the team were Perico Biricinaga, as a masseur, and Ricardo Irazabal and Manu de la Sota, both as delegates. The team made its debut on Monday 26 April 1937 in Paris's Parc des Princes against the French champions, Racing Paris, winning 0-3. This happened to be the same day that Guernica was bombed by Nazi Germany's Luftwaffe. In May 1937 they toured France beating Olympique Marseille 2-5, losing 3-1 to Zarte, and playing Racing Paris twice more, 3-3 and 2-3. In May 1937, the team began to have problems with FIFA. Due to the civil war in Spain, FIFA have banned all FIFA-affiliated countries and clubs from playing any Spanish teams. A match due to take place on May 30 in the Netherlands against Rotterdam was cancelled by the Dutch Federation. But many clubs and national sides continued to play the Basque team because they sympathized with Republican Spain, which the team symbolized. The team's first match against a nation from outside of Spain was a 3-2 defeat, also in May 1937, to Czechoslovakia, who had been runners-up in the 1934 World Cup. In June, they played Czechoslovakia again, losing 2-1. Then they played Silesia in Chortsa Cube W on June 9. When Bilbao was captured by Franco's forces on June 19, 1937, the team were in Moscow. They then toured the Soviet Union during that summer, playing against Lokomotiv Moscow, Dynamo Moscow twice and Dynamo Leningrad, Spartak Moscow, Dynamo Kiev, Dynamo Tbilisi, the Georgian football team, and finally Dynamo Minsk. Their only loss was against Spartak Moscow. The Soviet authorities were determined to win the final game in Moscow, so the Spartak team was improved by bringing players from other parts of the Soviet Empire to play for the team just for the one match. Lastly, they traveled to Norway and Denmark in August, where they beat Norway AIF, and completed their biggest win to date against Denmark. In the autumn of 1937 the team crossed the Atlantic to play in Mexico, where FIFA had given them permission to play clubs and the national side. After playing 9 matches in the capital and 1 in Guadalajara, they crossed over to Cuba, where their problems with FIFA got worse. FIFA demanded that Cuba should not play the Basque Country. So the Basque team only played club sides, playing 4 matches, winning 1 and losing 2. Next they traveled to Argentina, arriving on February 25, 1938. They stayed there 3 months but officially played no matches, due to their problems with FIFA. As they had run out of money and had no way of raising any, many of the big Argentine sides raised money for them. They then crossed the Andes to Valparaiso, Chile, where on the 9th May 1938 they played Santiago Wanderers, but the result is not known. Later in May they traveled again to Cuba, this time playing the Cuban national team twice, before returning to Mexico. In the 1938-39 season they played under the name Club Deportivo Euskadi in the Liga Mexicana de Football Amateur Association, one of the 2 major leagues in Mexico at the time, where they won 7, drew 1 and lost 4 games, eventually coming runners-up in the league. The Spanish Civil War ended in April 1939, so when the season ended the team was broken up and as a reward each member received 10,000 pesetas. Some of the players stayed on in the Americas and joined teams there. Franco years. Between 1939 and 1975 the Basque football team played only twice due to General Franco's dictatorship, which severely limited the freedoms previously enjoyed by the regions of Spain. The first time was on June 25, 1966, on the 50th anniversary of Real Unión Cuben's founding. A team made up of players from the Basque Country played Real Madrid in the Gal Stadium in Irún, losing 0-2. Playing for the Basque Country were Carmelo Cedra N. Goretai, Martinez, Morijo Lazarate Igara N., Amas, Dionisio Uraliztai, Landa Mauri, and Ero. Don Santiago Bernaba copyright who had the honor of kicking off. The second time was in San Mamés copyright S, Bilbao, on February 21, 1971, when a memorial match for Juan Gardiazabal was played between the Basque Country and Catalonia. The Basque Country lost 1-2. Playing for the Basque Country were Zamora, Deusto, Erusquiatar, Zugazaga, Iquibra, Lema, Gaisasola, Este copyright Fano, Santa Mara, Arambari, Eba equal or more than plus or minus is, Mara plus or minus on, Fernando Ancela, Araquista in, Rojo 2, Urtiaga, and Ortuondo. Revival. The first game following the dictatorship was played on March 2, 1978 in San Mamés copyright S against the USSR. The team were called the Selekzioa den Vasco and drew 0-0. Then on August 16, 1979 they played for the first time since 1938 under the name Euskadiko selekzioa in the San Mamés Stadium during the Great Week of Bilbao, winning a victory against a League of Ireland 11. Controversy was caused before the match by the Spanish government deciding that the song of the Basque football team should not be sung before the game. This resulted in the lehendakari Carlos Garaikoichi and the presidents of the regional councils and the mayors of the Basque capitals, all leaving the presidential box to sit elsewhere in the stadium, to show their protest. Osasuna Athletic Club was the only club with players called up who refused to release them for the match. Iraragorri and Langra kicked off and Diriba served as captain. The game was played as a fundraiser for a campaign promoting the Basque language called by Euskarari, organized by Sustiak, as a response to its suppression during the dictatorship. A few months later the Basque football team won again in San Sebastian's mythical ATOTXA Stadium, against Bulgaria. In 1980, in Vitoria, they lost 1-5 to Bulgaria. Other key matches include defeats to Cameroon and Wales, and victory over Serbia. Then, in 2007, after 69 years without playing outside of Spain, the Basque Country faced Venezuela in San Cristobal, winning 4-3. Their last game outside Spain before this had been during the Spanish Civil War on June 18, 1939 against Paraguay in Mexico City. Name change. In 2007 the team's name was changed to Euskal Herriko, and on December 29 they played a match against Catalonia in San Mamés. The result was Euskal Herriko 1, Catalonia 1. The name change, driven by the Basque Football Federation, was denounced by politicians from the Basque Nationalist Party, including the lehendakari, Juan José Copyright Barret, and also the main Spanish political parties such as the Partido Popular and PSOE. For this reason the Basque Football Federation proposed returning to the team's previous name, Euskadi, For the match scheduled for December 2008 against Iran, 165 Basque players signed a statement announcing that they would not play unless the team was called Euskal Herriko. The controversy went beyond the sports arena, and against this statement were positioned many political parties such as the PNV, PSE, PSOE and PP, and supporting it were Eusko Akortasuna, Iska Batya and Eusko Abatselekanta. At the heart of this dispute were the meanings of the two terms Euskadi and Euskal Herriko. For the politicians of the PNV who favored the name Euskadi, they saw this as the historic name used by the Basque football team since the 1930s, and geographically they said it always included the Spanish Basque Country, the French Basque Country and Navarre, but to the players and the politicians supporting them, only the term Euskal Herriko had this geographic meaning, and to them Euskadi only referred to the Spanish Basque Country. This difference of opinion encompassed the nuances of the names, their history known or unknown, and changing public opinions towards what name should be used when referring to all people of Basque culture. In the end, the match was cancelled. In 2009, a consensus was reached to use the name Euskal Selekzioa. However, discrepancies between the federation, players and ESAIT led to the match, scheduled again to be played against Iran, not to be played. In 2010, however, although there was still no agreement between players and federation, the players agreed to play the match to be played on December 29 in San Mamés, between the Basque Country and Venezuela, which ended 3-1. At this match, the gold badge of honor of the Basque Football Federation was presented to Joseba Echeverria, former player of Athletic Club Bilbao, for being the most capped player of the Basque team, and he was allowed to take the kickoff. Recent activity: in 2011 the Basque football team played two matches. Firstly, on May 25 they visited Estonia, winning 1-2, and then on December 28 they played their last game in the old San Mamés Copyrights against Tunisia, losing 0-2. In December 2012 they played Bolivia in San Sebastian, winning 6-1. On December 28, 2013 the Basque team played its first match in the new San Mamés Stadium against Peru, winning 6-0. FIFA and UEFA membership: several organizations including the Basque government and the Basque Football Federation are trying to persuade FIFA and UEFA to accept the Basque Country as an affiliated member. There is a lot of support for this within the Basque Country. The United Kingdom provides one model for a sovereign state with more than one FIFA member, and the Irish Rugby Football Union provides another model for a team composed of players from two sovereign states. The Irish Rugby Football Union squad has players from both Northern Ireland and from the Republic of Ireland. Current squad for the friendly against Peru on December 28, 2013. Recent call-ups: the following players have played for the team in the last 4 matches. Results and fixtures: pre-1940 international matches, non-international matches, list of Basque players who also represented FIFA international teams in international and Olympic matches. Players in bold have won the FIFA World Cup, players in underline have won the UEFA European Football Championship, players in italics have won the gold medal at the Olympics Games, a France, a Venezuela, a Spain. Famous managers: Pedro Villana, 1937–1939, Geza Escaré, 1979, Andoni Elizondo, 1979, Jose Copyright Antonio Irulegui, 1980, Xavier Expecubcito, 1988 2001, Jose Copyright Njalaruba, 1988 2010, Mike Leitxari, 2003 Javier Irurita, 2011, Jose Copyright Mara A. Marorchu, 2011 See also, Basque Country Women's National Football Team, references. External links: Basque FA, Euskal Selekzioa online, all-time results at rssf.com, search Mexican newspaper archive for matches.